Hello, welcome back to Different Panels. Another week, another migraine of movie comic book news. I am your host, Adam, along with Stephen and Carroll. Andrew is back on a suicide mission again this week. He will not be joining us.
I heard he's taken up the mantle from Tom Hardy.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that he's in the middle of Rick flagging stuff.
That sounds like a euphemism.
But so last week nothing came out. This week everything. So let's jump right into it with the what pretty much is one of the biggest news articles of the week is we have more Spider-Man news. I don't give a shit.
I bet everybody's happy to hear Spider-Man again.
I'm so excited. Not really. But because it's our job.
I'm not getting paid.
I'm not losing.
Let's get into it. So, it was broke by a Latino reviewer that Marvel...
Oh, that's right.
Well, it's been consistent. So, that the summit happened, Marvel and Sony came to an agreement that they were going to split it 50-50, that Spider-Man, it was too late for him to be involved in Civil War, but he will be involved in Part 1 and Part 2 of the Infinity War. Then Sony comes out, I think a day later, saying, nope, it's not true, it's all false, it's all rumors, Spider-Man's ours, it's our kid, it's all cool. And then, last night, an exec from Marvel came out on Twitter and said, why are you guys still reporting this? Don't you know by now that, this shit's happening, that it's all true? Why are you guys just repeating the same things over and over again? So, it's, again, confusing as all hell. Is Sony right? Is Marvel right? What the fuck's going on? And at this point, do we even give a shit? We'll start with Steven.
Yes, Spider-Man.
Look, I don't know what to say. What am I meant to say? This has been a whole big, bad booty clusterfuck.
Booty daddy?
No.
Yeah.
Go on.
At this point, I think Sony, I don't know what they're doing. I think Marvel is more reliable, and I would take their word for it over Sony. I think Sony are just so far up their own asses that they don't know what their hands are doing. Don't know if that analogy works, but I'm using it because Sony's a clusterfuck, and so was that. I don't care anymore. I don't care. This has done so much damage to the Spider-Man brand. I would be surprised if anybody cares by the time Infinity War rolls around that Spider-Man's in it. And it should be a big thing. It should be this massive thing. Spider-Man, one of the biggest superheroes of all time, is going to be in part of one of the biggest franchises of all time. But I don't know if anybody's going to care anymore.
They don't care who you think you are.
Opinions?
I mean, it should be a big deal, but does it really matter because 5 years later we're going to get another new Spider-Man?
Well, speaking of that, it was revealed that we were getting Spider-Man 3. Amazing Spider-Man 3. And then Sony shot that down already. So doesn't that pretty much mean that he's going to be involved in Infinity War, or what the fuck is going on? Is Sony so, got their ego so shoved up their own asses that they don't want to be like, yeah, we fucked up, let Marvel take over and we can help out? I mean, at this point, them not revealing anything is actually hurting it more.
No, you don't say.
Here's the better question. Do we even want Spider-Man involved in the Marvel Cinematic Universe at this point? Or do we just want Spider-Man to be, dead for the next, maybe 10 years and then have him come back?
I don't want to see Spider-Man again, in all honesty.
I'm
sick and tired. No, why? I know it's a cash cow, but sometimes I really wish companies would say enough is enough. I know it never happens because capitalists, money makes the world go round and all that. But sometimes a brand is so damaged or so overexposed, or Wolverine, that you just have to say, you know what, enough is enough. We need to put this to bed already, and just leave it. But they're not going to do that. Cause,
do you even care for Spider-Man anymore to be involved?
I mean, kinda, yeah. Well, no, I don't, because I haven't watched Avengers. I'm not even going to watch Age of Ultron, so I don't care.
I mean, I don't understand what Sony's big deal is here. I mean,
they're high.
They might be.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 made money, but it didn't get the best reviews. The first Amazing Spider-Man did okay. They fucked up with Spider-Man 3 back when Sam Raimi was doing it. Now I mean, just for Christ's sake, if you want people to care again, either admit the fact that you screwed up and that you're gonna give the rights over and Marvel's gonna help you guys out and make Spider-Man worth something again, or sit in the corner like the babies they are and just don't give a shit what the fans want and just have everybody hate you. Because at this point, I don't think anybody's on Sony's side anymore. And at this point, I don't think people even care for Spider-Man to be involved. I don't think Marvel needs Spider-Man. I think they're consistent enough that they don't need Spider-Man to ever show up. And if he does, maybe not for another 10 years, or if anything, because the contracts for most of the people are going up after Infinity War, have him be the leader of the Avengers after Infinity War. But for right now, I don't need it, and I'm sick and tired of reporting this because every time I hear it, it's the same stuff. Marvel says it's happening, and then Sony's like, nope, that's our child, it's ours, you can't have it, because we're a bunch of selfish pricks. I don't know how any other way to put it.
Only if we had Andrew here, because, he's a Spider-Man fan.
Well, he's on a reconnaissance mission.
He's Rick flagging people.
Oh, so he's gonna drop out?
Well,
that's a great... I mean, before we get on from that segue, last opinion here.
I don't give no shits no more.
Great. So, segueing over to DC, another big thing that came out was that...
You're welcome.
That Tom Hardy has dropped the Suicide Squad movie as Rick Flag. Reasons for this, in which I'll let Carroll go because he pretty much got the scoop before all of us about the reasoning why. Of course, Now we did know at first that one of the issues was because he had timing schedule issues with him doing a movie and press for Mad Max. But there's another reason why, and Carol, I'll let you explain that one.
Reason is, from what I've read, is that everybody was signed on, all the big stars were not given scripts beforehand, and then once they got the scripts, Tom Hardy was not happy with his character and what he's going to be doing, so he decided to drop out.
Now,
which, is better because they get Jake Gyllenhaal, that god, he's going to be better.
Which, as of right now, is the front runner to replace him because Jake Gyllenhaal and David Ayer, who's the director, are really good friends. And also, who doesn't want to be part of the comic movie at this point?
And you don't want to watch Jake Gyllenhaal.
I don't think Jake Gyllenhaal has the same build to look like Rick Flag, so I hope they make it look good, because Tom Hardy as Rick Flag I think was great casting.
But to be fair, how many people know Rick Flag? And the comic book nerds know who Rick Flag is.
People are saying that, is this a bad... Not Jake Gyllenhaal being casted, but is this a bad thing that the scripts were given to the actors at a later point and not right away? Now, I think...
Yes?
I think, again, it's Warner Brothers under pressure trying to get everything done beforehand so that they can get in time to fight with Marvel. And I think that...
they're going to be a tussle?
That, hey, let's get the people casted first, and then we'll give them the script. But that could also backfire. We just saw how that happened with Tom Hardy. Stephen, opinions on Tom Hardy leaving, Jake Gyllenhaal possibly coming in, and the whole script situation.
When I first heard that Tom Hardy was going to be, Rick Flag, I thought that's just perfect casting.
I don't agree with it because, I'm like, why is he...
Hey, it's his turn.
Well... you look at Rick Flag, I know appearances and everything, but you look at Rick Flag and you see Tom Hardy and Jake Gyllenhaal. Who looks more like Rick Flag? And Tom Hardy is a good actor. I know you don't like... I can't say whether that's true or not.
I do like Tom Hardy. I just do not like guys being in a superhero movie in the same
It's not the same universe.
Hey, same company though.
Well,
I know people who know comic movies. They didn't know about Suicide Squad. I explained to them about Tom Hardy. I said, wait, why is he in that movie? I thought he was Bane.
Yeah, but that's not going to stop them from watching it if they're going to watch it, is it?
I'm seeing it.
Well, no. Not a lot of people I know who know comics don't even know about the Suicide Squad movie. They know more about the Sinister Six movie.
Well, people didn't know about who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, and look what happened there.
No, but they heard about it. These people I talked to know about comics.
Suicide Squad hasn't had a lot of press yet.
No, they knew about it from earlier, like when Chris Pratt got casted. They didn't know about the Suicide Squad.
I guess your friends aren't very observant, then.
Again, that's not their fault. That's Warner Brothers' fault.
Well, there was a lot of hoopla.
There was a lot of it. And there still is a lot now because of Tom Hardy dropping out. But to continue on, Carol, what's your whole take?
Well,
I know you're going to go right into Jake Gyllenhaal's better, but
no, I just think that this movie needs good casting and big names for the fact that it's not a big comic book, and to me, Jake Gyllenhaal is a bigger name than Tom Hardy.
No.
After Nightcrawler?
No.
Okay, just because you were in one really good and critically acclaimed movie, Tom Hardy has been in a lot of blockbuster movies, and he has a much bigger name when it comes to Bane, Mad Max coming out. He came out with a new movie called The Drop. I've never seen a Mad Max movie in my life, so...
It doesn't mean it's not well known.
To be honest, I think Tom Hardy does have a bigger name in Hollywood than Gyllenhaal. I think Gyllenhaal is finally starting to get recognized, but that's a different story for a different day.
Always been recognized.
But I think Tom Hardy has more... Yeah. Tom Hardy has more steam behind him than Gyllenhaal. At this point, at least. And I do think him leaving... it does have an issue, but I think them getting Gyllenhaal as a replacement kind of cancels it. But him leaving because of the script, nobody else has done anything. I mean, we haven't heard from Will Smith or Margot Robbie
the reason I heard
Jared Leto saying, "Oh, our characters are terrible, we're dropping out." Apparently, so far it's just Tom Hardy for his Rick Flag character.
The reason I heard that he didn't like the script was because he wasn't the focus.
Yes,
and there was Will Smith and.
Well, to be fair, who was going to be the focus? You or Will Smith?
Some people have had rumors that he also might have dropped out because Will Smith's ego. And that the reason Will Smith is now the focal point is because he considered himself to be a bigger name than Tom Hardy.
Yes, because and
that there was an ego.
That's arguable. That's arguable.
Yeah, and that there was an ego trip on Will Smith's behalf.
I don't buy that for a single reason. That Deadshot is always going to be the bigger character than.
Well, as of right now,
it's not even that.
To be honest, from the spoilers that were released today, we won't spoil it, but it seems like there are two other characters who are going to become the main character.
It doesn't matter, in my opinion, who the character is. It's Will Smith. He's one of the most well-known names in Hollywood. He's one of the most well-known actors in Hollywood. Who do you think they're going to have be the main focal point?
Well, like I said, the spoiler that came out today about the movie shows that it looks like Joker and Harley are going to be the main focal point.
I'll believe that when I see it. I can see Joker, but...
And that Enchantress is going to have a big part as well. The only person that doesn't seem to have a really big part is Boomerang. Good, because fuck Jai Courtney. But...
Wow.
He's not a good actor.
Wait, is Jai Courtney the one that was in...
He was the Bruce Willis' son in Die Hard 5.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Was he on the Mars thing?
What?
You know, the one that flopped.
Oh, Life on Mars?
No, not Life on Mars. John Carter.
Oh, John Carter. No, that's not him.
Oh. Okay.
But he doesn't have a really good track record. At all.
I'll take your word for it.
But good, at least he's somebody that nobody really cares about. But so Tom Hardy leaving, big issue or not at all?
Anybody? I think it depends on who you ask.
Okay, minus your love and admiration for Jake Gyllenhaal aside.
No, it also depends because if you're one of the people who are like, well, he was Bane.
Well, no, in general, does this hurt the film?
I don't think so.
Stephen?
I I think it's dependent on what the actual reasons were and whether those reasons were legitimate. If there's a problem, if there's a genuine problem with the script, it's not just, I want to be the main character or I don't like my character.
It seems like there's a lot of ego issues right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's the character at fault, because the way Rick Flag is he's not the main focal point. He is literally just a guy that's picked by Waller to keep them in track. He's like the teacher. A bunch of ratty kids, and he's the teacher. You know? He's not supposed to be like the main focal point. He ain't the leader of the Suicide Squad. That's Deadshot. It always has been. Flag has been like the second in command, but he's never been a big issue. Now,
was Rick Flag even in Arrow?
No.
Yeah. I was last time, like, wait.
Yeah, but let's not combine two different...
No, I'm just saying, they took...
Deadshot.
I'm just saying, if they're gonna have a Suicide Squad and you're supposed to be, like, you know, the leader, why aren't you...
Flag didn't really even have a big part in the comic book that came out this year. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, it was his son who's in the comic book.
There's 2 Rick Flags.
Yeah. So,
he's
not the big issue. So I do think it might have something to do with a little bit of an ego trip, because nobody else has said anything bad about their script, only Tom Hardy. Yeah. And also I do agree that it does have to do with him not being able to shoot the movie in time because he's working on another one and he has to do press for Mad Max. It's just... I don't think losing Tom Hardy is a big deal because you are gaining Jake Gyllenhaal out of it. But if we hear something else that somebody else isn't happy about their character, then it's Warner Brothers once again rushing to catch up. So, there's that. Any final opinions by either of you about the situation?
Nope.
I just hope that if there is further ego issues with Will Smith or whatever, it doesn't affect the movie.
Alright. Now let's move on to something that is affecting a movie. We'll move back over to the Marvel side and to Fox this time.
Oh,
the
Lord.
Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, Lord.
We have been told that we are going to be hopefully seeing a Fantastic Four trailer very soon.
We are. It's been confirmed. We're seeing it on February 13th.
But...
Oh, Lord.
It was revealed by some of the execs that work in Fox that the higher-ups are not very happy with how the movie came out and are calling it a mess.
Guys, February the 13th is a Friday.
Ooh!
Wait, what?
February the 13th is a Friday.
Oh. Well, look at that. So, they are calling the Fantastic Four a mess of a movie.
You know why I think it's a mess? Beyond everything being shit. The thing, because we know what Doctor Doom has been turned into. We know how the Fantastic Four start. We know
being thrown into like another dimension or some shit.
Yeah,
they're store clerks.
And he's a super genius as a store clerk.
No, he's a hacker.
No, that's not
it sounds like a really bad like Saturday morning cartoon.
And it's like, and the worst part is that they are so invested. They've already announced the sequel, and that they really want to do a crossover with X-Men.
The thing is,
the part is that the cast is really good. They got a really good cast.
The saddest part for me is that if you listen to the interviews of some of the actors and I think the director or whoever it was, they're so embarrassed of being a comic book movie. Like they keep reiterating that, Doctor Doom wouldn't work in modern era, or we're not going to have silly costumes, or stuff like that. It's like, okay, you clearly don't want this to be a comic book movie, so why are you doing it?
They clearly make it sound like they want it to not even be called Fantastic Four.
If they had their way, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, I'm really, really excited to see this trailer because of how bad it's probably going to end up being. Or maybe it ends up being good. Who knows? We don't know. But, for fuck's sake. Fantastic Four. Why? Just why? The last two movies weren't good. The comic book just got canceled. Why do we need Fantastic Four?
Money, dear boy.
It never sells, though.
Well, did you still make money out of it? It may not be you can die happy money, but it's still money.
Like, what if... At this rate, it doesn't sound like people are going to see it if it keeps getting all of this bad press. the movie's being called a mess by the studio. The studio is saying that the movie's a mess. How does that make anybody say, "Oh, yeah, I'm convinced. It's gonna be great"? Besides, like, Joe down the block who's drunk all the time and is like, "This sounds like a great idea."
Hey, don't mess with Joe.
Like, if the studio is calling their own movie a mess, how do you have any confidence?
I hope this tanks. Honestly, that may be a terrible thing to say, but they just need to put Fantastic Four out of its misery. And Fox.
I mean, it's already been canceled. Like, the comic book.
Yeah, I think that's a bit petty.
Haven't sold in years.
Are you sure?
In years. The reason it got canceled is because it wasn't selling.
It seems a bit convenient.
Yeah.
The movies, the first two movies were not that good. This one doesn't sound good at all.
I think...
Like, at all.
For me, the only time Fantastic Four works is that, I think, 2003 cartoon or whatever it was. And even that was okay. It wasn't outstanding or anything. I just don't think it works. I don't think it translates to any screen for some reason. I don't know why.
The first family of comic books is just not something people want to see anymore.
See, the best part about Fantastic Four is Doctor Doom. He's not even going to be Doctor Doom.
Well, he is, but he's not...
No, he's a freaking Russian hacker living in his mother's basement. That's not Doctor Doom.
They get teleported into, like, another dimension, and that's how they get their powers.
Yeah, because that's more realistic.
My thing is the fact that...
Like, who said that
they already announced the sequel?
Yeah, they have announced a sequel. There's plans to do a crossover with X-Men. Which, if that happens, it's going to ruin X-Men. Which has been very fucking consistent. When they were writing this, who said, yeah, that's great?
Their wallets said it.
Yeah, that movie.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, where Spider-Man gets me pissed, this makes me laugh.
No, I really wish we could get somebody who was actually...
excited?
Yeah, excited.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think I've talked to one person, whether it be here or outside of Skype, that's like, I can't wait for Fantastic Four.
I know there's only probably going to be 5 people watching this, but I'm going to...
because I have to.
But if there is anybody out there who is excited for Fantastic Four, or Spider-Man even, please get in touch with us so we can
bring you on and you can explain to us why. Because I'm not.
Are we going to be able to talk to ourselves since we're the only people who watch this?
Well, I can clone myself.
But,
get your brother on here, Steve.
Final thoughts on
he doesn't like it. He's not interested.
Final thoughts on Fantastic Four in general, Carroll.
Miles Teller's good, Michael B. Jordan good, but no bueno in the movie.
Stephen. Well spoken. Alright, the last thing we'll talk about before we get to our the only lightning round question I have this week. An exec from CBS has come out on plots for the Supergirl TV show that we're getting.
I wanted to bring this up. I think I forgot to bring this up on the last podcast, and it's about a TV show. They said that there won't be Stephen Amell said that they aren't going to use the Lazarus, I can't pronounce it, the pit.
Lazarus.
They won't use that to bring Arrow or Oliver back on the show.
We'll discuss that on the TV show podcast.
What's the saying? I was saying, what do you guys think it could be?
We'll discuss that on the TV show podcast.
Fuck you, Adam.
Let's get on. So an exec from CBS came out with details on the Supergirl show. 3 things that were made clear about it. 1, it's not going to be crossing over with the Arrow and Flash universe, which is upsetting. 2, it's going to be a crime show. And 3, we're getting a Superman cameo, possibly.
I can explain the last point. Can I explain the last point?
Steven.
Right. It was somehow, I don't know how, but the audition tapes for the show were obtained, some of them at least, and some of the men were reading lines that... Well, the dialogue between Jimmy and Supergirl, for example, had them talking about Superman and him doing something. And the dialogue for some of the men reading it had them reading lines that sound suspiciously like Superman would say. Which would suggest that Superman may not... He may be a cameo, but he may have a larger role.
Huh.
So there's
Can it be Nicolas Cage Superman?
And the freaking giant mechanical spider.
I still can't believe that was going to be the fucking storyline.
Anyway, minus the fact that Superman's going to be involved. A crime show for a Supergirl TV show?
I mean, it's better than fucking Krypton.
Yes, but...
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Oh, God.
But that's not the point. I mean, really?
Normally I play devil's advocate.
Is it because, like, oh, well, Gotham is a crime show.
Nope.
Well, we can do it, but with a superhero. Yeah. What?
I think they just want to try something different.
I don't think this is the right way to go.
Obviously not. Makes no sense.
Also, why Superman?
We'll find out why the Krypton will work and play.
We're gonna get a Superman in a TV show that's probably not gonna be that great.
He's better than Henry Cavill.
Well, it could just be that they might just throw out those lines to... I know, like, we might have Superman, we're still thinking about it and they decide not to.
Now, when you say Jimmy, you mean Jimmy?
Maybe
Yes.
maybe it's to create buzz around the show.
Yeah, that could be a point. I mean, that would explain how easily these were obtained.
Yeah, but then when people tune in to see Superman and he doesn't show up...
She'll get a view. And she's like, oh, well, there's no Superman, but I really like the show.
Yeah, no, they'll tune in that episode and they'll find out that he's not there, then they won't.
Yeah, but then if they say, well, I actually really do like the show.
People don't like being lied to.
When it broke, a few weeks ago when we discussed it on here, I was excited for Supergirl. And now I'm not excited as much as I was, because I like Supergirl, but now that they're turning it into a crime show, and Superman's going to be involved, and that it's not going to be involved in the same universe.
I'm glad about that, to be fair.
I'm kind of not caring as much as I did before.
I don't think they should introduce characters on the same power level as Supergirl.
Especially with the fact that we're also possibly getting an Atom TV show.
That's still a dumb idea.
Oversaturation.
We seem to bring that up once an episode.
Just the career of Brandon Ruth goes from being Superman.
Yeah. I think he's doing much better as frickin' Atom than Superman.
I think you don't have to say anything. You're not American.
So that's that. So, what do we? Final thoughts on Supergirl, Stephen?
Yeah, they shouldn't. It's like they looked at the success of Flash and Arrow and like, okay, let's do everything ever, and it's not a good idea, especially making a crime. How's that even? Doesn't make any sense, like at all.
Carol,
shut up.
I don't care. I never cared about Supergirl.
All right.
I care more about Crypto the dog.
So the Super Dog.
Hey, I like that.
That's a thrill.
I know, but I care about that more.
Thursday.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I actually care more about Crypto than Supergirl.
It's not even Thursday. We had a throwback. Anyway, the only other thing that just broke like a few minutes ago that we don't really need to discuss is that Deadpool movies filming in Vancouver in March. So yay, and Ryan Reynolds is back on board.
Wait, is it going to be fully animation? Or is it?
All it said is that if they're filming in Vancouver, I guess it's live action. I guess it's live action.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So, cool. So that's filming in March.
What are they filming in the Vancouver, studio?
It says it was reported by the Canadian website Global News reported that Ryan Reynolds will be filming in his hometown of Vancouver beginning in late March. It said Fox has booked Deadpool for 2 months of filming in Vancouver. This is North Shore Studios.
They're filming there because they're going to have an Arrow and Flash crossover.
So, there we go. Ryan Reynolds is back officially, now that we have a lot of stuff going on, he's Deadpool, filming in March, Deadpool movie on the horizon.
I hope that's
I'm
successful.
extremely excited.
I only want that to be successful for Ryan Reynolds.
I really hope
you love Ryan Reynolds.
I really hope he proves that.
No, I think he gets a lot of flack or whatever.
You want to fuck him?
No.
Why
would... I think he gets a lot of flack for some reason. That's a lot of it's unjustified, and I hope he has a successful career after all those flops.
He only played Deadpool for 5 minutes of the movie. That wasn't Deadpool at the end.
He played Baraka.
That was Baraka. They said it in the credits. It was small, though.
Actually, apparently, I didn't know this at first, but I was like doing research about it. He does have a name. He's apparently called the Deadpool.
The Deadpool. Oh fuck.
When he's in Baraka mode, he's apparently the Deadpool, but that's not something we'll discuss here.
The Deadpool.
But we'll get on with the title. With the only thing we have left, my infamous lightning round questions.
Oh God, terrible.
So the last question we have today is: last week we talked about what cartoon we would like to see in a live-action movie. This week, what comic book character would you like to see adapted into a live-action movie? We'll start with Carroll.
Oh my God.
The new Lobo, New Age 52.
We can't be friends anymore.
That's a joke, right?
Yeah. No, I want to see Red Hood.
Alright.
I'm a big Red Hood and Jason Todd fan as that. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I loved it. And I think a grittier, more version of Robin would be good. And I think they could do an anti-hero one, because I always think that if you have a superhero movie where it's an anti-hero, more of a villain perspective, and not a, gotta do it for the civilization, but more of, I can do this for myself and my means, but maybe I do want to help people. It's a much more, new route and a better route. But,
Stephen.
Why?
I want to see a Huntress in Question TV show.
No, movie. It's movie.
Okay, Huntress in Question movie then. I'm cool with that.
Now, Renee Montoya question, or...
No, you have the first one.
Reasons?
Well, back in the good old days of Justice League Unlimited, we had a little Huntress in Question action. And I think... Oh, shut up. I think they work well together. Question with his quirky cynicism, questioning everything, because hence the name. And Huntress with I'm going to kill you with a crossbow. I think it worked well together, and I'd like to see it on the big screen because I think it would be hilarious.
Hilarious. You'd pick that over, say, a Birds of Prey movie.
I don't trust them to do a Birds of Prey movie at all. I mean,
I have two. One of them is something I would love for them to do, but I don't think they could ever make a movie fully about it. Would be a Harley Quinn movie.
Of course.
But
overrated.
If I had it, I will fight you about that. If I had to pick somebody though that I think would sell money, would be a badass movie, a Deathstroke.
Lobo.
No.
Damn it! I should have said Deathstroke.
A Deathstroke movie starring
No.
Whoa.
Starring Manu Bennett. Damn it.
Yes.
Now,
Manu Bennett.
Hey, I'd be okay with him too, but because of the whole, we don't want to cross over.
Shut your whore mouth, Adam.
Ron Perlman.
I'll curl your face up.
A Deathstroke movie would be so fucking.
Fuck Ron Perlman.
Deathstroke is the perfect character that has the witty, dickish comeback type deal. It would be a badass R-rated action movie.
Everyone likes heroes.
Just him, going out hunting down some guy to kill him because he's been hired to do the job, and it's just it would be so much fucking fun. And Ron Perlman as Deathstroke would be badass.
No.
But if I had to pick somebody else that could be him, that's not Manu Bennett. Jason Statham.
Oh, no. Get out of here.
I could see that.
No, I don't want to get a fucking Deathstroke movie, then halfway later I get Deathstroke Voltage, where he's fucking trying...
I could see
It
that.
would be him going up against... I can't think of a villain at the moment.
Why didn't he go up against a hero?
Yeah, he can do that. I'm trying to think of who would be the best person besides like Batman or something for him to go up against.
Batman! Robin.
Ra's al Ghul.
Robin.
But that I would absolutely love to see a Deathstroke movie, and I think his character has become very popular lately. Some people think he's a little bit overrated but I think he's.
I think those people are overrated.
I think the character has gained enough presence that a solo movie would be marketed perfectly, and I think people would see it. It would make money. They would get a pretty good cast for it, and it would just be a badass R-rated action movie, and sort of like a throwback to like old '80s action movies where it's just one guy on a mission to kill something and fucking done. There's your plot. Sell it. I'll watch it. And I agree with the other two movies. I would love to see a Red Hood. Red Hood's also like one of my top 10 favorite comic book characters. I love the Huntress a lot. She doesn't get a lot of credit, and they ruined her in Arrow.
I completely forgot about that.
I don't agree with Question. I would rather see a Black Canary. I would rather see a Birds of Prey movie, pretty much.
Do you really think they're going to be?
Let's see a Laurel. Let's see a Quentin.
I don't think they can pull it off, but if they did, then cool.
Let's see a Quentin Lance movie.
Nobody wants to. But
hey, I like Quentin, but no.
I like Quentin too, but the actor has some weird mannerisms. How he always breathes.
That about does it for this week's edition of Different Panels. So, for myself, Adam, Stephen, and Carol, join us again. Same bat time, same bat place.
Holla at your boy.
I hate you both.